going, everybody? What's happening out there? You all good?
We're all good.
Excellent. I'm so pumped that I said OmniVerse instead of AussieVerse. Thank you very much for coming and joining us today. OmniBeau here. Mark Grodd Watson over there. Down below us is Zac George, artist and writer extraordinaire. Thank you very much for joining us, Zac. It is an absolute honour to see you once again.
Been ages, I swear.
For those that don't know, I kind of did a show, when was it? Like about a week ago? No, it was last night. That's right.
A couple hours ago.
So we're doing part 2. Or if you guys haven't seen that show, we'll just do the whole thing again, eh?
Yeah, it's fair.
Excellent. Alrighty. So for those that don't know, Zac George is an Aussie artist, comic creator, writer. Are you a musician, Zac?
No.
Okay, well, we can't say that one then. He has many talents, but he's not a musician. Tell us about what's going on with you, Zac. For those that don't know, also, he creates... Oh, I've got them here. We've got Bronwyn issues that I purchased off Zac quite a few years ago now. Sketch cover done by
4 or 5.
4 or 5. And number 2 here as well. This is a awesome series. I need to find my number 1. If I can't find it, I am going to purchase number 1 again. And then number 4, which I never got off you.
Number 4 is coming out in June.
Oh, well, then that makes me feel better for not having it yet. While I'm still big, I am going to show off a little pieces of artwork that I got from you as well when I purchased books off you. This is Zac's Black Cat. Gorgeous.
Wow.
Gorgeous looking one. How's that?
That's awesome.
And if you like that, I bet you'll like this one because this is my favorite one. When Zac gave me this for free, I couldn't believe it. And it is Daredevil mourning the Elektra's death. Loved it. Loved it. So what's going on in the world of Zac?
Well, tonight I am finishing up a Bronwyn story. I was meant to go to the printer yesterday.
Oh, beauty.
She keeps me busy.
I believe you have something else coming out. Boom! That is really bad quality. My apologies. Vivian Jones, Occult Detective. Tell us about that, Zac.
It's in a world where everyone is sort of human, but everyone has a giraffe head. And he solves occult crimes in the 1920s.
Fantastic.
I got a question. Why giraffes? Any particular
It was just my
connections
favorite
to it,
animal. It still is.
It is.
I just like,
It is.
for some reason, I just like the way they look.
Okay. Is there any other reason why it's your favorite animal, or just you thought it was a cool look?
I don't actually know why it's my favorite animal. I just really like them. I can't answer other than that.
Cool idea, I think. It's an unusual one, but it's a cool idea.
Everyone likes a smoking giraffe. Again, apologies to Happy Harold. Hopefully people understand that reference.
I didn't have it prepared earlier, so I am looking up your Kickstarter so that we can show everybody. I've got your Bronwyn one here. Mate, we really weren't prepared for this very well, were we? Mark, ask the gentleman some questions about how he got started in the comic book world while I take a look at this, huh?
All right, so where did the idea come from? For the
Vivian Jones came from needing to do a uni assignment 3 years ago, but I couldn't figure out the story in the time that I would have had to do the first issue for the uni assignment, so I went up doing a Bronwyn issue for that, and then all the concept up, and Vivian just sat there for 3 years, and then when I joined Comx and then started up the Comx studios with Shane, I was like, okay, it's a good time to do Vivian Jones because I could do it in the 8-part 8-page segments and slowly build it. And that way Bronwyn wouldn't suffer too much at the same time.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, well, so it's like, what's the end game, do you think, with this? Are you just going to do one story arc, or have you got more plans for Jones?
For now, Vivian Jones is 4 issues.
4 issues. Have you got any more plans after that? Have you ever like planned forward with him? Or...
I'll leave it open, so if I want to come back, I can. But for now,
yeah,
the main story I've set up so it's 4 issues.
right. And do you like? Did you draw him first, or did you sort of write a story first? So which one comes first? Do you draw and then go, I can write a story to this, or do you?
I normally just design a character, because it started with me drawing a giraffe in a ancient Roman helmet. Then I drew him as like an Aztec, then a pharaoh. Like, it was just going through history, just putting like the giraffe head through history. And then Vivian Jones.
On the mouth too.
Yeah. So he kind of came from that. It's just he actually just came around from messing about drawing. So.
Yeah, cool.
Now, let's see if I can do this right. I've never shared the screen on a video before, but what we're going to do is go like this and say, share screen, and we're going to say, do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do. Nope, that didn't work. Keep talking, fellas.
All right, Zach. So what's your dream job?
At the moment, I'm drawing Bronwyn to finish a Bronwyn project up. Hang on, I can show you the pages.
Yeah, cool. And I read that it's... did you have to do much research for the myths and legends of their ancient world?
The Celtic stuff I already read a lot of, but I still do a lot more research. Just so I can get the stories right.
More of a Celtic background, doesn't it?
Sorry?
Yep. I was going to say, it's got a Celtic background, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's where Bronwyn's grounded. Sorry?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so Bronwyn's grounded in Celtic myths and legends, and kind of threw her into the timeline of Caesar invading the Celtic territories. So she's grounded in history to keep it kind of on a historical context. It remains grounded with all the fantasy and stuff around it.
Yeah.
And I heard.
Cool. I did see on your
I heard that when you're writing certain scenes for a you know what I'm going to say, don't you? When you're writing certain scenes for a book, Zach, you've got some kind of inspiration that you draw from, some kind of muse that inspires you to put that pen to paper and make you create some beautiful violence. Would you like to share with the world what that is?
Morgan's head is still spinning. If I want to draw a really mean fight scene, I watch The Nanny.
The TV show Nanny.
Yeah. I'm sure that's what Fran Drescher wanted that show's legacy to be.
There's something about the jingle, the Flushing girl from Flushing, the nanny named Fran, that he turns around and just makes him just draw like crazy. Now, I cannot for the life of me share the screen here. This is a complete and utter failure. I wanted to show everybody your freaking Kickstarter because it's going for so cheap and it's got so much content. Oh, I've failed you. I failed you, Zach. I will put the link in the description, everybody. You need to check this out because he's got, what, 3 covers? 4?
There's 4 variants. One is by Ryan Vella,
Yep.
who has done some work in Comx's Presents Noir. Duncan Prenavicius, who just released Bin Kitty issue number 1. He also did a cool Batman Dark Knight Returns homage,
Yep.
which turned out really well.
Yeah.
And then there is
Just kind of like that one.
a
The
normal
background?
cover, which is my work. And the final variant is you can be drawn into it. So he's going to be sitting in a chair smoking his pipe, and behind there's going to be 3 portraits of the 3 people who buy in on that tier. I think there's only 1 spot left on that one, though.
Yeah, and you've also got, which is really exciting, the blank variant cover. Tell them what happens with that one.
Oh, that's just because I haven't drawn that being drawn in one yet, so the cover's still blank.
Yeah.
In the picture description.
But for $100, you can get yourself drawn into it.
Yeah, as one of the 3 portraits behind Vivian in his chair.
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and there's another tier that you can get a A5 sketch of Vivian or Bronwyn, if you want Bronwyn. Happy to draw Bronwyn. But yeah, so they're still available too. I think that was limited to 5.
See if this works.
There you go.
Might not be able to share the screen, but I can at least do that.
So the top one of like the watercolory one, that's the main cover. The one that looks almost Sandman-ish, it's Ryan Vella. The bottom one is Duncan.
Yeah, they're really cool.
I think your cover's very it almost looks peach Momoka-ish.
I have to look that up. I don't know that one.
Oh, you don't know Peach Momoko? She's become really popular in the last year or so. Does a lot of Marvel covers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So people that are into her, I think will really like that. I've got another one to show. One sec. This is some more of your artwork here. There you go.
So that's just a bunch of sample pages. They'll be slightly edited in the final book.
Yeah.
But the sky will have a better sky kind of thing.
The sky will have better sky. That's always
more effects through the sky, like smoke and stuff.
Is it something you've always wanted to do? Is comic book writing?
Yeah. Because I started releasing Bronwyn as a comic strip in my school magazine back in 2006. And then in 2010, I did my first issue. I did 2 comics that year, and then they didn't go very well. I didn't know a lot. They were like A4 folded, stapled kind of zine vibe more. So, and then I did the original 3 issues of Bronwyn again, which 2 of them just got shown. And then I took a break again. She's had a shaky publication history. We'll put it that way.
I think you'll find a lot of Australian creators can say the same thing, mate.
Yeah.
So to give you guys an idea, take a look at that. $14. What does that get you, Zach, as it says up there?
14 is all 3 covers.
All 3 covers for $14.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mate, that's a freaking awesome deal. The next one is $50. What's that?
All 3 covers. You get a bookmark, a badge, and that's the one with the A5 sketch of your choice of character.
And is that sketch done by
me?
Yourself? Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then you've got the $100 one, which this one really blows me away. For $100, It's such a good deal. Take it away,
So
Zach.
everything in the previous bundle, plus you get drawn onto the cover. And I'll send you the portrait that I do of you that goes into the cover as well, like the original drawing of that.
That is amazing for $100, mate.
Yeah,
That is an
wow.
absolute bargain.
Absolutely.
And what's the goal? Have you reached the mark, or you're nearly at the mark?
Yeah, it hit its goal.
Oh, beauty!
It's funded, yeah.
Sweet.
So the target for this one was only 700. It's a small one for this one.
Yeah, that is just awesome, man. You know, ever since yesterday, and we did our interview on Comx, I've been thinking a lot today about. I've always wanted to write a comic book. I know artists now.
Hit up Shane. You can go into presents.
Hit up who?
Shane. Sizzle.
Oh yeah. Okay.
One part of Comx, so you're already in. Go for gold.
I'd be able to finally write the Arachnite, which was a character I got from Todd McFarlane's cover of Spider-Man when he wrote the Arachnite. I might be sued for copyright, though, with that name. Maybe I need to spell it differently. But I've got a whole origin. I've got a whole thing. I was writing a novel once upon a time. I got about 3 chapters in, and I never touched it again. I'm lazy.
That's how writing normally works.
Yeah. So who are your influences growing up, comic-wise? Or actually, even if it's not comic-wise, just any influence?
To start with was Batman animated series from the 90s. That really made me want to draw. I've actually learnt a lot of my anatomy from that. Then I went to TAFE and did the whole art school drawing thing. But artist-wise, there's Nicola Scott, Adam Hughes, Neil Adams, Jim Lee, Mike Deodato Jr.
Wow. There.
There's a lot. I like a lot of people for different things, and I kind of steal bits and pieces.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Fair enough.
Who's been your...
Drawing is the one skill that I've never, ever been good at. I'm absolutely horrible at drawing or art in general. That kind of art, drawing, painting, whatever. So when I see people be able to do that, I'm just absolutely amazed. Sorry, Mark.
Oh, yeah, I'm just... so, like, what's been your sort of favorite character to draw? Who is the person you wake up in the morning and you just want to draw a sketch, just random sketches of?
Xena.
Xena.
I can pretty much draw her from memory at this point.
Right. I did have Xena
really good
down here
likeness
too.
of her.
Because I did see Xena on your Instagram page and it looked amazing.
Yeah, so I can pretty much get her likeness just out of my head at this point. So,
have you got any Xena memorabilia or autographs or anything like
that? Autograph, yes. And I have some of the figures from when I was little, and I get the comics when they come out.
Were you a Hercules fan as well, or just Xena?
No. No.
What are you laughing at?
No, it's funny because Lucy Laws herself actually got into a Twitter beef with Kevin Sorbo last year.
Really?
It was funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Did you watch Ash versus Evil Dead? Lucy Lawless is in that, isn't she?
I did.
Yeah. Still looks
She was
great.
good in that.
Yeah.
It was annoying it got cancelled.
100%.
That was a bummer.
Yeah.
So what's next on the horizon for you? You've got more. I'm sure you've got more ideas propping up there in the head.
Rowan issue 4, which is almost done. Then I'm starting a new character set in Egypt, and then back to Vivian Jones to start the next issue.
Yes, sweet.
So, and then there'll be a Bronwyn trade about August.
Sweet.
Bronwyn trade. I know a Facebook group that would be all over that. Aussie Omnibus Collectors. we're very excited to be able to get that one because we know that Darren Zen Close, our friend, is going to be doing a collected edition of his Killaroo.
I saw that. That should be really good.
Can't wait to get that either.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else you got there, Mark?
Well, just like what else are your hobbies, like, other than to get out of sort of the funk of writing? So say you're in a bit of writer's block, I guess. What do you do to help yourself get out of that?
I read a lot, both books, comics. Like I even just researching for another story. If I'm not in the mood to write or draw, I'll just sit down and read a bunch of mythology or something like that to see if that will help. And then if not, I'll just watch a TV series that I really know. Just so I'm not don't really have to focus, but it's more just like chill out kind of thing.
Keep the mind sort of going, sort of thing, isn't it? Sort of thing. Yeah. So, obviously into your history and mythology sort of stuff and like that. So, how much time do you reckon you do that a week? It'd be a lot, yeah.
Reading.
Yeah, or reading or watching mythology sort of stuff, and just
probably a couple hours a day. Because while I draw, I put like history docos on and stuff like that. So it's kind of always going.
Yeah, cool.
So keep my mind busy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So if Vivian the occult detective and Bronwyn walked into like a Saturday music store, what CDs would they pick up first?
No idea. I mean, Vivian's set in 1920s.
Saturday doesn't exist.
I was waiting for. As soon as Saturday came out of my mouth, I went, "I'm showing my age, aren't I?" What
There's some places that still have sanity. You're fine.
You know where I got the idea for that question from? Our mate Morgan yesterday with his McDonald's question.
It's a really weird question, but and then at the same time, you're like, I don't know, what would they eat? It's like, but music-wise, I don't know. Vivian will probably go for jazz or something like that, I think.
Yep.
And Bronwyn, no idea.
So where'd you pick the name Vivian from?
Vivian is named after my maternal grandfather.
That's cool.
So, and then Jones, I just added because Jones sounds cool at the end of it.
Yeah, no, it certainly does, mate. You're also mentioning that this character being a giraffe, well, actually all the characters being giraffes, the size comparison is not what you would expect. Like when you think of a giraffe character, you'd expect them to have this massive long neck and be towering over everything. So that's not the case, is it?
No, it's I pretty much when I draw them, I draw like a normal human figure, and I just double the neck and just move the head up a bit.
So there's like there's no like neck envy.
No, it's just like pretty much you double a human neck when you draw someone. It's just enough to sell like the giraffe angle.
And how many different versions did you have to draw to get to that point where you thought there was a good balance? Or was it just straight away?
No, for a little bit they did have a long neck. And then I thought about the mechanics of like them eating with like human length arms, like how high they would have to reach for stuff. So it was like, let's just make it more human.
Yeah. You definitely got that, Mark.
Is there anybody that you want to collaborate with that like is on your bucket list?
Mainstream fame-wise, Nicholas Scott and Adam Hughes, even Mike Mignola, that would be really cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Indie-wise, I want to work with Rob, you know him as Spedsy.
Yep.
We've got a Bronwyn story that he's writing. So, and I'm drawing that. So that's pretty cool. That's off the bucket list. And I want to do something. There's actually a few people, and I've got them to do covers, but I would love to even just write them a story to see how they'll draw Bronwyn's universe.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see someone else take on your creation, wouldn't it?
See, I like seeing the covers of it. But handing over sequentials is something that I'm like really hesitant to do.
Yeah.
I'm just not there yet. We'll get there though.
I did notice that you mentioned it a few times, Nicole Scott. And I do notice in Brolin when I've seen sketches that you've got kind of the Nicola Scott face. So she's got, is that sort of inspiration you took out of Nicola Scott from her faces? You know, she's drawn Wonder Woman and stuff like that. She's put out this really amazing face. I've noticed in your drawings, very similar too. Is that sort of what inspiration? Not exactly the same, but similarities to it.
A lot of Nicola draws very like a realistic form. It's not comic book. She draws more like life drawing kind of deal.
Yeah,
and I like that angle. So that's what I kind of got from Nicola Scott's work.
Yeah, 100%. So. Yeah, because that was one of the first things I noticed, because she does her facial figures and stuff like that, try to make it as real as possible. And and I noticed on a few of your drawings, fairly similar sort of style. So
a lot of my figure drawing I got from looking at old Batman, like Neil Adams Batman, and then Nicola Scott in early mid 2000s when she was on Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
That's when I started really seeing Nicola Scott's work. But I've always leant towards that life drawing kind of figure work, because that's just how I got trained in drawing school.
100%. Well, I love that style, to be honest.
So do you have a normal job on top of your passion that you're doing as well?
I do freelance graphic design.
Oh, okay, sweet. So then, as somebody that has a dream of wanting to be an Aussie artist, writer, creator, even though I can imagine you would always have more and more goals and more, like, you're never going to be satisfied, basically, that's what an artist is. You always want to do more and more and more. How does it make you feel, still knowing that you are part of a percentage of people out there that has been able to go out and actually accomplish something that they've set their mind to? And even if you couldn't draw or create anymore tomorrow, you've actually been able to do something that a lot of people can't do. You know, a lot of people turn around and they say, I want to play drums, or I want to be the best skip rope person in the world, or whatever. You've turned around and said, that's what I want to do, and you've been able to do it. How does that make you feel?
It's something I always tell people when they want to start doing it. Like, you have to be able to sit there for hours, because it is hours of sitting. It's hours of focusing. It's a lot more commitment than everyone thinks.
Yeah.
Then drawing sequentially is different again to drawing a pin-up or a cover. So getting one book out, anyone who gets a book out, I think should really be applauded in that sense, because they got there.
Yeah.
But if you can keep going, that's just a credit to you in a way. Like, I think once you get over the first one, you really know what you're in for. So it's you can prepare for the second one better, or you really know if you want to do it or not in the end after the first one. But definitely try and do one at least. With actually get one out before giving up, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, you should definitely be proud of your accomplishments. It's very, very good to see. How old are you, Zach?
I'm 32.
Yeah, see, for 32 years of age, that's pretty good, mate. Pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Do you like? What do you like more? I know this is probably like asking who's your favourite child, but do you like drawing more, or do you like writing more, or do you like the creative process of making a comic more?
Comics as a whole, I enjoy. Um, I like the research part of it more than actually writing the story. But then again, I don't write scripts. I go straight to thumbnailing and make
Oh,
thumbnail my entire story out to make sure it
yeah,
flows. Then I go straight into drawing. And then the drawing wise, I really like the coloring of it. Like I use markers and stuff. So it takes forever, but I thoroughly enjoy the coloring side of comics.
that's really interesting, actually, that you've got that way of doing it because I find it like when I look at a comic, because comic fans like myself take it for granted of how much work goes into making a comic, and it's something that you
Mm.
don't think about, right?
Mm.
Um, but I remember talking to Darren Zen Close again that I'm bringing up, and he gave us an inside look into how he creates his comic, and it blew me away of the patience you must have of where the speech bubbles go and
Mm.
each frame, and it's just I don't know if I could do it. It's yeah, a lot of patience.
There's a lot of long nights. There's a lot of I screw this. I'll come back to this tomorrow kind of vibe. But you come back the next day and you're most likely going to do something totally different, and it's going to be for the better. So um, the little hiccups along the way are worth it
Yeah.
in a way.
I was also wondering, so your character-wise, just characters that you've created, is there any sort of, do you base them on kind of their personalities on people you know, or you just purely just making them up? Just in some sense.
I use my friends' likeness
Yeah.
for stuff a lot of the times. Like Ethlyn is one of my good friends. She's thoroughly thrilled that I've turned her into a psycho. Um, uh, there's a character called Whistler who again is based on my friends. I just like basing it on my friends. Like I do still little bits and pieces of their character traits already. But if I need like a shot of like looking up from under their chin or something, I can say, "Can you give me this photo?" So
Yeah.
it kind of is better for me in the long run because I can execute the drawing a lot better than guessing or looking at someone else another reference and trying to figure out my friend's jawline versus that jaw. Like it's yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but I do loosely, and then Bronwyn is loosely based on Jennifer Garner. So
Oh,
that way,
okay.
I always have another reference point. It's not identical, but it's enough to be like, okay, she has one arched eyebrow, cheekbones, really straight nose, her eyes are like almond shaped in a way, and I just run that through my head, so I can draw Bronwyn. And again, if I need an angle of Bronwyn, I just find Jennifer Garner on that angle. So
Right.
So I'm going to assume then that you're a big fan of Alias.
I am. I just finished season 2 again the other night.
I only ever saw season 1, I think, but I know I've really got to get into it.
See, Alias was one of those good shows where you really had to watch because then they would suddenly pull like a reference in season 3 from something in season 1, and you're like, how's that connected now? And
Yeah.
then suddenly, like, all these episodes get linked, and you're like, rightio. So, Alias is one that you have to kind of pay attention to when you're watching it.
Do you have any friends or family that demand that they be in a comic and hassle you and really annoy you put me in a comic or not even that, but draw something that I want, and you're like, man, I'm not getting paid for this. I'm trying to do the work that I'm getting paid for.
I do bits and pieces. But if you know me, you're going to get a like Christmas present wise. You're getting a drawing. You're going to get that. But I don't normally get hassled for do me a drawing. Like I've done a CD cover for my brother's band, but that was just fun to do. And at the end of the day, it's another credit on my graphic design kind of thing. So it's just like,
Yeah.
Okay, here you go.
Yeah.
But I do like to get paid.
About 5 years ago, when I met Zac, I asked him to do a cover for me. Back in these days, I was addicted to homage covers, which we call swipe covers in the game of comics. And one of the swipes that I loved, which I still do love, I shouldn't talk about it in past tense, but is the famous Iron Man Demon in a Bottle cover, which I don't know if you know, Mark, but it's the one where it focuses on Tony Stark's alcohol addiction, and it's got him looking at himself in the mirror with the bottle, and he's like sweating, and it says "Demon in a Bottle." Really famous cover. It's been homaged quite a lot, and I asked him to do the cover for me with myself instead of Tony Stark, and instead of the bottle, a bong, and I got this.
That's awesome.
And Secret Wars was something that I bought as many covers as I could for. So it's one of those collecting things that's a problem where you need two of them. So you can have one with the Secret Wars and one with my artist box there. But yeah, thanks a lot for that, Zac. That was great. I love that.
That was ages ago too.
It was.
Yeah. So
anything else you'd like to discuss there, Mark? Any pearls of wisdom you'd like to
had a
Zac?
choice.
Sorry?
He's great.
Frozen. Zac. Well, mate, is there anything else that you'd like to plug while you're here?
No. If you just want a pipe smoking giraffe who solves crime, jump on the Kickstarter. I think it's down to 5 days now.
Yep.
And if you missed the previous Bronwyn campaign, you can order the Bronwyn books on the Vivian campaign as well, and the add-ons. But,
Go check out Kickstarter. The link will be in there. $14 for all those covers. That is amazing. And if you want to be drawn into a comic, onto the comic cover, pledge that $100 because I'm telling you right now, you put $100 down for anything else like that, and you are not going to be getting as much as Zac is going to be giving you. Trust me on that. So it is a hell of a deal. I highly recommend it. All right. Well, I guess that's all we got, mate. Thank you very much for coming, Zac. I really appreciate it. You can always take it with you as well. And even though we have interviewed other people on AussieVerse, you're the first one that we've been able to make it our own segment. Usually we do it for the live chats. So always remember, on your deathbed in 50, 100 years from now, when you turn around and you go, not only did I accomplish being a writer, an artist, and a comic creator, I was technically AussieVerse's first interviewee. And everyone around you is going to be like, that's amazing, Zac.
I'll put it on my tombstone.
Straight to the boring.
All right, well, we will see you Monday for the live chat, everybody, with a brand new format. That's right. We are going to do something different on AussieVerse Monday live chats. No more what are you watching, what are you buying, what are you reading. We might put that in there if we've got some room from now on. But from now on, it is all about the comic news. That's right. All the comic news around the world we are going to be discussing each and every week. And hopefully that makes you a little more entertained than watching what we've bought, watched, and read. Thank you very much for joining us. And as usual, AussieVerse for life.